there any particular drops you wanted to add? It's fine. We can always talk through. We've done it before. The way you're giving me this look, like it is absolutely it. You must never speak during our intro. We just haven't done it in ages. So don't give me that look. Guys, Uforo's giving me a look like, how dare you talk while I am playing our intro?
Yes.
And I'm like, come on. We've done it before, man.
Sacrilege. Sacrebleu.
Oh. Because he's like looking at me like eyes wide, like transgression. Yes. You know? Well, I'm like, calm down. We've been there, done that, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, guys, welcome back to Anime and Opposites. Where with you. I'm your host.
Hi, guys.
Bala. With Uforo. He's in there.
For some reason.
To blast us with booming voice.
For some reason, yeah. You just sounded like, I'm your host, blah, blah. I didn't hear Jola. I heard, I'm your host, blah, blah. And I was like, what?
That's what you wanted to hear. I'm sure you guys heard me say Jola, right? Because you just wanted to hear blah blah. I think because you said Sacre Bleu or something, and in your head it's like blah blah blah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm your host, Jola.
Yes, the wonderful, pretty Jola is in the house, and
with the handsome and delectable for.
Oh, this is how we should start every podcast, literally. With a little bit, with some compliments to each other, you know, just a little bit of, you know,
some gingering,
some ginger, some niceness, you know. Okay, let's talk about how good looking we are. And for people that don't know, we are both really good. Anyways.
We'll get to the point where, I don't know, we'll show ourselves. We can take a picture of this half and half screen first and be like,
I'm telling you, guys. We'll take a picture of the half and half screen, but then both of us be facing backwards, so you guys can imagine. Then from
actually, that's an interesting one, and just put it like, your host from the back.
Your host from the back of our head. Your host. Yeah, sounds very wrong. Last I put the back of our heads, because the way you say your host from the back, like, okay.
From the back, I'm like,
okay. Dollar, what you into your spare time from the back? Anyways, let's move on.
All right, guys. What we have for you today is Dattebayo. And
that thing, do you know that thing almost used to piss me off initially, because when I used to first watch it, and then every little thing, Dattebayo. Yeah. But do you know that do you notice that once in Shippuden he stopped Dattebayo in a lot? It just switched, and that came off it.
I'm not sure if he stopped though.
I don't think it became. No. It wasn't as.
I think he just got more used to it. Nah,
I don't. I think it wasn't as regular.
It just wasn't. I think because he wasn't shouting as much, and so it wasn't a thing that used to come out so clearly. Yes, he used to say, "Oh, sometimes Dattebayo," and it didn't. He was shouting less and ending less on that shouting Dattebayo.
You should be a voice actor for anime, because you're really good at
guys. Can you guys hear that? I'm available.
Yeah, she's available.
I'm available.
If you're making a Nigerian anime with Shongo, call Cholat Komajit.
I'm not serious. Actually, they're not anime, but there are a lot of
there are a lot of
comics out there.
Comics, and some of them are look really good.
And all the stuff.
Some of them look really good. So it's not really, a slight on any. Really good.
Yeah. You guys check out Comic Republic. Just to put that in there. Okay. Anyway, so like I said, we termed this episode Dattebayo because, would you know it? We found an interesting list again from the almighty Ranker.
Ranker Jitsu.
I mean, sure. And they were talking about Naruto plot holes that are kind of hard to ignore, so they say. Also, the fans say who voted on this particular article, right? So basically,
You want to start from the bottom?
They just think
top?
no, because then I have to scroll to the bottom. I'm just gonna start.
That sounds lazy, but okay.
I mean, whatever you guys want to see it as, man. I'm just gonna start from 1.
Why is Naruto the same age as everyone else? And that's a good one because I'll read it first before we.
Will you give us a bit, yes, of why they explain? Yeah.
At the beginning of the series, we find out that Naruto failed graduation exam at Ninja Academy 3 times. While it's never made clear exactly how the academy functions, it's reasonable to assume that he would have to retake a year of school. If that's the case, then why is he the same age as people who didn't have to retake the year? Like Sakura, like Sasuke. Logically, he should be around the same age as he is in Shippuden at the start of the series. And that is one of those annoying ones. And that, for me, is a major cartoon, animation, TV show, movie.
I have one thing. I'll play devil's advocate to try to explain it. But
he started younger.
Yeah. But yeah, it is a thing.
Is that what you want to say? He started at a younger age? What was it?
No.
Play devil's advocate.
No. Yeah. Okay. So what I want to say is the assumption here is by regular schooling is he had to take the year again, take the school year again, which is why he would be older. Now, maybe that's not, as I said, they were vague on how the academy functions. So maybe it wasn't a thing where he had to take the whole year again. It's just a thing where you can take the exam multiple times, regardless. And he had tried it a few times and it didn't work out.
I disagree to a certain degree because the way they made it seem when there was like a failure, it seemed like a next year thing. It didn't seem like the exams happened that regular. For me.
No, but the exam is not like tuning type exam. This is exam to get into like the academy. So this is not tuning. This is not like getting. Those ones are the ones that you can say they happen at a certain time, as we see in the show. So this one is like get into the school type thing. So that's why I'm saying you can see it as, okay, it's a bit erratic. You can probably take it maybe more like at any point or in much, much shorter intervals. That's the way I thought about it. That, okay, maybe that's what it is instead. Yeah.
Maybe Jala has solved the plot hole issue. Maybe she has.
Yeah, baby.
Maybe she has. And then, okay, let me know, create more. Go to the next one.
You can if you want to, but
no. I can see point in what you're saying, so I'll leave it there.
All right.
This one is the third one is actually a very particular one.
Absolutely. For me. Yeah. Okay, so why didn't anyone know who Naruto was, right? And I'll go through this real quick.
Yeah, go on, please.
Naruto was the son of Minato, which Yellow Flash, of course, and the 4th Hokage. Minato was probably like the most visible face for a while, being the Hokage, and he has blonde hair, blue eyes, fine guy. Not many people have blonde hair. He
looks like Naruto on canon. They look like twins almost,
except with the tribal marks, and he's much finer. Yes, that's it. So you have him. Then his mother is Kushina Uzumaki, right? And she was a descendant of a very powerful clan who they used to know. They have a whole history, right? And they are the ones that house the 9-tailed fox. They sealed it inside her, right? So everybody in Konoha apparently, should know who Naruto is, and that she has very red hair, fiery red hair. So both of them have very distinct features. So when you now give birth to this child, right? Okay, so they say the fact that Naruto grew up having no idea about his lineage, strains that possibility, and that the higher ups, even if the higher ups wanted him to grow up without knowing, the idea that a random stranger wouldn't know, a random stranger wouldn't mention it to him is a bit. They're even saying that the fact that nobody ever said it to me, that is it so easy to make sure nobody.
No. You know what? You know what it is for me.
Or that they did do mass genjutsu on everybody.
No, that's one of the. Now let's think about it. For example,
yeah,
they were mean to this dude. He suffered as a kid. Naruto suffered as a kid.
Which means they didn't forget. They knew who he was.
And if he suffered as a kid and his father was such a hero, and these people are not that much, I mean,
why was he suffering?
Let's even not forget.
That's even a different thing.
Even his teacher, what's his name? Kakashi. Iruka Sensei, all of them. I'm just trying to say, like, Minato was not far from their age. Like, this thing. It wasn't like that far. Like, I mean, he was their teacher. He was Kakashi's teacher. He was
supposed to be far.
He was Kakashi's teacher. But I'm trying to say, like, it's just the generation above. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Yeah.
So they were aware. So the parents at that time were aware of Naruto. They couldn't have not been aware of Naruto, of this thing. They couldn't have been not aware of the whole situation that happened. So for it to remain such a mystery that even we did not know that he was related to the fourth Hokage initially, because it wasn't something that came out in the beginning of
that
Naruto.
was supposed. Yeah.
It just seemed like some random kid that was kept in this thing. So is it the Jinchuriki hate that made them all ignore him? But
I think that was what the whole thing was.
Yes, but I think that for nobody to say it, for nobody to even mention it, for it to not be even this thing, it's either really good writing. It's either really good writing in the sense that they wanted to suck us in and not let us, the viewers, know. So maybe people are aware in the whole village, but it was something that they just made us not, they didn't want us to know, so they wanted it to be such a nice surprise for us. So we're like, oh, he's Hokage's son.
And that's why they acted like nobody knew
so
he was the fourth Hokage's son. Well, I think okay. Now another thing is, now you say ideally everybody should know that Naruto was Minato's son, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe what it is that, okay, now everyone knew Hokage, his wife is pregnant, they would have known because there was no reason for him to hide it. What everybody may not have known is that obviously she houses the Jinchuriki. Fine. Everybody may not know that because there's no need for them to all know. It's selected people that would know that part, right? But they will know she's pregnant. So maybe what it is what the main village knew was that the mom died, father died, baby died, right?
So they assume that the baby has died.
So when they now brought this blonde looking baby, they just thought
it's just a random baby.
It's just another baby. Yes.
But then now so Jola again.
So the only people who knew are the Ambu.
He's trying to destroy another plot.
I'm trying to explain.
Jola is trying to tie loose plots because I literally just told Jola just 2 seconds ago that you make a very good voice actor. She's now trying to pitch herself to all of them.
What has being a VA got to do with me explaining the plot holes?
If you're creating the plot holes, all the people that they say, she's not only a good voice actor, she can also create as well and understand. Wow, we need to hire her.
I mean, he ain't lying. So whatever. But yeah, no, I'm just saying. So maybe it's that kind of thing where it's not as much information that was shared to the village as you might think. And so now this does not mean villagers shouldn't have tried to put two and two together. So the fact that nobody ever thought he could be that's the part that is impossible.
Kakashi knew.
For the most part, you can say yes.
No,
yes,
Kakashi
of course they were told to. Yeah. Those guys should know. Yes, sorry, I'm interrupting. My bad. Kakashi should definitely
cool.
have known.
Iruka Sensei as well should have known but kept quiet, or what? Or do you don't think he knew?
No, he knew, but he hated the Jinchuriki, anything to do with the Jinchuriki and the Nine-Tails, because that his dad died in some kind of battle relating to it, and he just put that anger on the only thing that was related to the Nine-Tails, which is why he himself hated Naruto before. And then the third used to tell him, you don't hate him, it's not his fault, blah, blah, blah. So he used to struggle with that. if you remember. So
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think it's just people putting their weird hate on the boy, even though it's not his fault, all that nonsense. But yeah, that's the only way I can explain that one.
So the next one, why is Naruto left alone so often? So let me see how this reads, because I actually didn't read what they have to say here. So let me see. Let's see what they have to say. Despite having a godfather who promised to take care of him, Naruto was raised by AMBU members who check up on him occasionally. The closest thing he had to a parental figure is the Hokage, who does little besides giving him living expenses and telling him to be a good boy. And Iruka, a teacher who doesn't get involved in his life until he's nearly a teenager. This would have destroyed his development. Children who don't form meaningful bonds during their early years suffer from severe emotional and behavioral challenges later in life. But it's not just Naruto's health that would have suffered, it's also the villager's safety. Naruto is basically a walking bomb. If the nine-tailed fox escaped the seal before Naruto learned to contain it, there would have been catastrophe that would threaten all of Konoha. What's more, Naruto could have easily been adopted and used for nefarious purposes. Letting a tail beast fall into enemy's hands is just one of the worst things that could possibly happen. So why was everyone willing to risk it? I completely agree with this point. This is absolutely true. We look at someone.
I don't think I can complete this one.
No, look at someone like Gaara. Gaara was used as a Jinchuriki. So the village, not that they left him, they even kept him in a position of power, but they exploited the power in the sense that he was meant to be a killer kind of person, and they used to send him to this thing. So that was one way of exploitation. The second person that we can use an example is Hachibi, Eight-tail. Eight-tail was not. He was the Hokage.
I think that one was they took him in.
That's what I said. He was the Raikage's brother. That's what I'm saying. Another side of it. I'm trying to go from the hate, from the exploitation side
from
to the loving side.
Loving side. Okay.
So the exploitation side of it. The loving side of it is the Hachibi. Hachibi was shown love, and you could see the differences. He was a protector of the village. He was responsible to the certain things. He was making sure people respected him. He was this thing. And he learned to control the Hachibi early as well. Like they had a partnership and everything.
Yeah.
So it comes to the point that why was Naruto treated the way he was treated? Because they knew, it's almost like they wanted it to become an issue, because they knew this guy, it was literally, as they wrote, a walking time bomb.
Yes, and the QB for that matter is strongest. Like very filled with hate.
And is the strongest. The QB is the strongest. So
and filled with hate.
Filled with hate, the strongest. And imagine if Naruto was a Sasuke. Just imagine for a second if Naruto was Sasuke. That would be the end of that village as we know.
My brother is dead. And village, get out.
Naruto has some massive mental fortitude to be able to have been able to not fall into the line of hate, and rather he was always looking at an opportunity to show love, to be involved, to be loved, to be cared for, to do more, to care,
to try and play to keep himself like going.
Because he went through a lot of emotional trauma. Like that one we noticed a lot.
Yes.
And a lot of times where he cried, where something would happen that he would like be broken and stuff of that nature. But he always built himself up, and he was a pillar for other people to even build their emotions on top. So it's actually quite the plot hole that is quite stupid.
Why would they have very stupid of all of them to leave him alone? Yes, now so you are leaving someone that has this powerful thing to continue to just. And the villagers and people who don't like him are treating him like crap. You're now still leaving him alone so much. Like, it doesn't make sense. And the Hokage himself didn't think about it. That
doesn't make
how
sense.
Do I get more involved?
It just shows that maybe
he thought like what? He thought it was better to leave him to just figure it out. So look, why are you risking that kind of thing? Yeah,
it just shows that hate prevails. Hate prevails.
I guess. I mean. That one I can't even explain it. I really can't. I cannot.
One that Jola is stumped on, guys. Completely stumped.
Yeah, no, there's no explaining that one. Because even by, as you said, Iruka, I say Iruka, as if it's one Igbo name.
You look.
Iruka Sensei only comes in later. Kakashi
Mm.
also comes in only later. And then he doesn't meet boy Jiraiya till much later. So all that could have been a huge disaster. So yeah. Okay, so this is a funny one. What happened to Naruto's healing abilities is okay, so apparently there's a point where he's after Madara ripped Kakashi's Sharingan out of his face, Naruto is able to heal the injuries for absolutely no reason. Apparently, I think it was supposed to be with his at that point he had his sage power, didn't he?
Yes.
So he must have been using, because even with the picture, he must have been using some kind of sage thing, apparently. So with the eyeball being ripped out, that's not a small injury that as if, no, he's been learning how to do healing. Because we know he hasn't. He never bothered with doing that side of things because that was not his. Yeah. So it's actually, you removing your eyeball is a big thing. And for him to suddenly be able to heal it, and then so you say, okay, he can heal this, but then they don't mention it ever again. So even if it was a progression of sage powers, earth powers, and you explain it that way, he found a way to do this, okay, fine. Activate your chakra to help heal things, okay, fine. But then he does it, and then it never happens again. How will you heal a whole eye injury and never do it again?
And there was a lot of...
They just threw it in there conveniently and then...
Threw it in there conveniently. It's one of those written things to write, to just create things. Like, they needed Kakashi to have complete eyes. So they said, you know what, let's make Naruto...
boom, bada, bing, boom, boom.
I mean, we can tell, because that time that the whole pain thing happened the first time, Naruto did use his chakra to distributed his chakra around to everybody or something like that. There was one.
No, that wasn't him. That was his chakra was
no.
That was when he took their souls and returned their souls.
Okay, something like that.
That was Nagato. That was that was
okay. Yeah. But outside of that, okay,
the only thing Naruto did was share his chakra.
That's what I was thinking. Okay,
yeah. That's in the final. That's during the war, I believe, and that was him paired with obviously he's now paired with I can't remember his real name, but the Nine Tails and with the other tailed beasts. Yes. So that one, at that point, they had reached a new level, should I say, working together.
Okay.
What he did there was have a ton of his Kage Bunshin, his shadow clones, with people, wasn't it? And then they were the ones passing his chakra, right? Oh, am I thinking of different things?
Yeah, it feels like you're mixing things up. I feel like you're carrying the story somewhere else that I didn't go to. But you know what? Let's not even try to explain that one. I'm just going to
okay. My point is with the eyeball, he healed it, and
that's what let's just stay on that.
It's not a thing that was consistent, basically.
No, it's something. That's
the
it's one of those things. It's one of those things. Anyways, then moving on to the next one.
This is a good one.
So, Team 10 definitely knew each other as children. Team 10 is made up of the heads of Nara, Yamanaka, and Akimichi clans, who have been passing on specific jutsu, that are meant to be used in tandem for generations. The close bond between the three families means that there is absolutely no way that Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji didn't know each other since they were babies. For some reason, though, the anime decided to depict Shikamaru and Choji meeting for the first time at age 7. While this isn't impossible, there would have been a canon reason behind it for it to make any sense whatsoever, and there isn't. And I completely agree with this, because
I do. Because even many times they show it as if they are so close. They've known each other.
their parents are also too close, way too close. All the three parents are way too close. Everything they're even in teams together. The parents said for something like that. So
they were in teams. They've explained that before, and that's how they passed it on.
No way.
So why wouldn't the kids know each other? Yeah, and you know sometimes when they show some of these episodes, you know all these their fillers where they go back and they were kids.
They kind of contradict
They used
themselves.
to play.
They contradict themselves.
They used to play before they were in the academy or before they got their headbands. They used to play, but then they now make it seem in the first episode at the academy like they're just meeting and stuff for the first time. So yeah, they contradict themselves a lot. That makes some sense. I think it's one of those things like they just put in retrospectively and then they're like, yeah, it's fine. It's a little thing, you guys can ignore it. But yeah, definitely a plot hole that
we noticed when you change the wigs, guys. The last wig was red, this wig is black. The last week was curly. This one is straight. This is like bone straight. We know. Then for the next one, we're getting towards the end. So for the next one, we have
this one makes sense. We might say a few things here.
Yeah. So the tail beast seal's weaknesses could have been avoided. Considering how powerful the tail beasts are, it's crucial that they not accidentally burst out of a person's body. Apparently, this is especially likely to happen during childbirth. Then why are the beasts so frequently sealed into bodies of cis women? Right. I don't know how to say cis women there, but yeah,
because of the times we are in now.
Yeah, let's not know. Yeah, nope, not touching.
Yeah,
it's great to have women in important roles, but this seems pretty irresponsible to seal a monster, into the body of a female child who may want to have children one day, essentially putting herself and everyone else around her in danger should she choose that route. Why not exclusively sealing the beast into people who can't get pregnant? Also, is childbirth the only thing that causes this weakness? Presumably, it's due to an extreme strain on the body. So what about severe illnesses or injury? In that case, why would anyone who had a tail beast in their body become an active duty ninja? I mean, it's like nailed to the head. It's something
the one part is the woman. It can even be a woman. Sorry,
cis woman. Yes, cis woman.
One side. So even if you say, okay, fine, you want to put it in a cis woman, as you said, why put it in one that wants kids? Maybe you should ask the ones that are not interested in having kids.
Why put it in a woman? Can't get pregnant to do it. Understand.
If you want to put it, no, it's not fair, as you said.
I agree.
No. If you want to put it,
I understand the equality thing, but I'm trying to say let's forget about that for a second, because it's not about the equality, it's about the safety. It's about the fact that
is why I said okay.
It's about It's about the fact that you're thinking, what is the safest way for us to not have a problem? It's like me saying that, I have a time bomb that if you don't put a timer on it, it will not blow. So why do you put a timer on it? We just want to know the time. Is that kind of thing? You're like, okay,
that's fair.
The easiest thing to do is put it in a dude that will not go through the strain. Fine.
Second easiest thing to do. Even if it's a woman, put one that can't even get pregnant anyway, or is not interested, because at the same time I'm sure there are some ninjas. Not everybody changes. Not everyone changes. Some people know from day one, and some people are incapable to. Okay, we're talking about ninjas here. There are some ninjas, because they want to be ninjas, they may do something or go through a procedure, or they want to do something to what's the word for when you do the thing to tie your tubes? So there are some that do that.
No, but this is even going to the second point, which is like, why ninjas in activity? Put it in someone that will just live on the farm.
And why ninjas? Because serious injuries, yes. Which means during that time, anything can happen. Yeah. So why not somebody? I can understand training them to be ninjas so that you can protect yourself in case. No, wait now.
Go on. I said go on.
No, okay. I can understand even if you train them so that they can protect themselves in case anything happens, and so they are strong enough to have the body to hold the seal. That is all fine. But that's why here they said active duty. So that's the main part. So you are going out to do things that could literally give you serious injuries and stuff, which absolutely, makes no sense. As you said, you have a ticking time bomb. Why take these risks?
I'm even going to add that.
So that the show can happen. That's why.
No, I'm even going to add that the reason why they make them into ninjas, which is a purely selfish thing, is because they want to use them. If you notice the whole point of this whole
you're right, that's
the whole point of the whole way the shinobi really work. Behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, is all about usage. A lot of experiments, a lot of things that they do is all about trying to. It's like military power. It's the same thing that we see in the world today.
Yes.
In the world today, all this
in the world today, yes,
the wars that we go through, the whole thing. Why do you have nuclear weapons in the first place, and then say let's not use nuclear weapons? We're just making them to not use them. I mean, come on, we're all not stupid. It's that kind of thing.
You're right.
You create a bomb because you want to use a bomb. You seal it in someone that
because you want to use it, you want to exploit.
You want to be able to say we have a super strong Jinchuriki ninja in our village that if you step on our toes, we will use them to wipe you out. Simple.
Yes, and that's the answer to the plot. So actually, absolutely, that's the answer.
I'm joining Jola on this thing. It's on my CV now. I solve plot holes. We have two
so Yamato's
so you can pick any two because there's a lot on the list in the list. So I wanted to say you don't have to pick.
Yeah, you would just have told me that rather than whispering.
Yeah, no, I did.
Okay, let me see. I don't think I care for number 10. Unless you do.
No, I don't.
Blah blah blah. Maybe I should try this shadow clone one.
That's a good one to try. I'll go with it. I'm going with number 15 as well.
It says what is.
So no, you do your shadow clone.
Oh, okay, number 15. I see. But 13 isn't bad. But yeah, okay. So what is going on with shadow clones? At the beginning of the series, it stated that nobody can graduate from the Ninja Academy unless they can create a shadow clone. That's one of the reasons why Naruto failed 3 times, because he couldn't do one. And but elsewhere in the series, they say shadow clones are a Junin level skill. Why then are 12-year-olds who will be most expected to do odd jobs required to master it? I don't think I said that very well. Sorry, guys, but yeah.
Will be most
basically, if it's Junin level,
yeah.
Basically, if it's Junin level, why would they then expect the 12-year-olds to do to master it? Yeah. And then they said also, if it is a requirement, why was Rock Lee able to pass the exam? He can't use chakra effectively. So it's pretty much like impossible for him to successfully create a shadow clone unless they had a special requirement for him. That's the only thing I can think of. But yeah, this is right. This is a bit of a weird one because and the other part is, if I remember correctly, okay, I think that's where the caveat is. I was gonna say, if you remember correctly, the first thing was at the beginning, Naruto steals that seal. That is the forbidden seal. Oh my god, at the beginning. And in that seal is where he learns finally how to do the Kage Bunshin shadow clone. So it seems it was.
He learns.
Yes, that's where I said the caveat.
He learns the real shadow clone to not make a shadow, but to make a real version of himself, kind of, in a sense. Because the shadow clones are not. No.
I think the only difference is that it was mass.
Yes, they had masses.
No, but that's what I'm saying. What they're saying here is he's supposed to make shadow clones, which is different from regular clones. The one in the seal that he learned to make was the shadow clone. The only thing I can use to explain is that when he finally does it, he makes mass shadow clone, because he makes like 30 in that first episode or whatever, however amount. So the only thing I can use to explain that away is that because they called it a forbidden jutsu, that's why he stole the seal he wasn't supposed to. So maybe what they were saying is the mass version is what was forbidden, not the shadow clone itself, which doesn't make sense.
Why was it even forbidden?
That's what I'm saying.
It's one of those things.
I don't know.
They just
it's a thing that you do anyhow.
They gave us
They just
something
gave us
because
because it was the beginning.
they gave us
They just gave
something
us
because
because it was the beginning. Yeah.
they
They wanted
gave
us to
us
see it at the beginning.
they wanted us to get it was a hook,
Yes.
line, and sinker.
Hook.
It's very, very dumb of them. Very
Because
stupid.
it's a by the way ability. Like it
It
was just
doesn't make
supposed to
any
be
sense.
mysterious at the beginning. And then
I
later
mean,
on, you're
even though
thinking, yeah, guys, that didn't
yeah,
make sense.
it makes sense.
And
It
as you
doesn't make
said,
sense.
it's a junior level thing. Why should any of them be able to do it? But yeah,
Doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
no,
And yeah, there's a lot of things. If we need to even find more because there are a lot of things that have so many plot holes. But let's do the last one because if we continue, we'll be here for a long time.
yeah.
The last one is what was the point of Akatsuki? And that's why I picked it because I'd like to understand as well. Now, Akatsuki might be awesome, but their overall purpose is actually super unclear. While they were technically supposed to be helping Obito and Madara collect the tail beast, none of them actually accomplished anything close to that. Sure, they provided some of the most epic fights of the series. Very, very true. But in almost every
Of
case, they
course.
were either destroyed or redeemed. This wouldn't constitute a plot hole except for one thing. Obito already knew before gathering them that he was fully capable of collecting the tail beast on his own. Why put forth all that effort in not only recruiting the members but also setting up an elaborate ruse to keep them in action when he could have just handled it himself?
Well, the answer to this is so the anime can happen.
As in,
so that as you said, so that you can have interesting fights.
Bam.
Because if you had only Obito going there to do it himself, how many times do you want to clash with Obito? And then the guy will obliterate you because he was too powerful at that point or whatever.
That's it. That's just it.
Or by mistake you win and kill him, and he's like, "Oh shit, it's over." Like, I mean, yeah. So as you said, yeah. But they were very cool, sure. I can't lie. But yeah, no. And then I can understand that point.
Yeah, so stupid. But anyways, and with that, we have to go into our riders, which for some reason we have decided to go.
We didn't with
what now? Why are you laughing?
We decided to go with what? As you can see, we are deciding on the fly. If you think we are trying to make it seem like we knew,
I knew already. I was going to say.
Oh, did you? He's just lying. Nice.
No, we'll go on the Naruto. We'll go on the Naruto one, but I don't want to go a best time. I want to go a worst.
Worst what?
Who's in Naruto's level of characters? When I mean Naruto's level, so his team, his classmates. Who is your worst?
Does that mean that excludes Neji and Tenten and Rock Lee? Or you are still counting them? No, technically they were above. They are a bit older.
Technically they are above, but they are in there because there was a lot of interactions. Even Sai, all of them. So who is your worst? The worst is the rider. That's my point. The person.
So worst what? Worst character? Who's my who's my least favorite character?
Least favorite character, yes.
It's funny for your rider to be your least favorite.
No, but that's because we want to give them a little bit of screen time. Because it's easy to pick a best. It's easy to pick a best. It's easy to pick a best, and the best will always be everybody's best. But I think the least favorite is very subjective to a lot of people. A lot of people might be like, "Oh no, this is my least favorite. Why is that least?" I think it gives somewhat of a conversation. Okay. We don't literally have to write it in the rider that least favorite. We'll give them a little bit more.
Yeah, sure.
Jola is thinking.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't even that. I just saw a message. Sorry, guys. Okay, so my least favorites. Oh, do you have one already? So maybe I'll use your time to.
Yeah, I have one.
To decide.
I have one already.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's Sai. Let me guess.
No, Sai is all. I like Sai. I don't mind Sai.
Okay. So she's your least favorite, not even Sakura.
Not even Sakura.
That's that. I'm baiting you. Go on.
Yeah, not even Sakura. Annoyed me a lot. Yeah,
Okay,
annoyed
and
me a
why?
lot.
Real quick, why did she annoy?
Because she just felt like she just had a lot of uselessness. Like, and I didn't particularly like her, the way I didn't particularly like her. I feel like her power could have been more, but I just felt like it wasn't. She did not know how to use
They
it. They
didn't give her. To be honest, they also didn't give her any chances. Let's be honest.
I think
she was just there.
She started off as that. She started off as that bitch initially. She didn't like Sakura. She was trying to then. She then built into this very girly girl, but in a certain way that was slightly annoying. I mean, yeah, I did not. I think I did not particularly care for Inu like that.
She didn't annoy me because she didn't get enough time to even annoy me.
That's why I think that's why least favorite, because it's not going to be someone that was in your face all the time.
Yeah, that would be Sakura if that's the case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sakura is an easy pick
right?
to bully.
Oh yeah, I know. Of course, and we've done the Sakura hate already.
Yes.
You know what? I'm leaning towards Choji. Funny that they're in the same team. Not because
Choji.
Choji is alright. It's between. It has to be between Choji and probably Sai. But my thing there is, I like Sai's ability.
You don't like Bai. Can. Is that how he does it to this thing? You say something like that?
The biker no jutsu thing when it gets big, right? Yeah. No, he has some interesting things too. And when his wings come out and he gets sting, that was interesting.
That's cool. Like, how can you say Choji? Are you sure?
Yeah, but I think what I don't like, is not his abilities I don't like. I think he used to annoy me because he was always Shikamaru's first leader, especially at the beginning. Anytime anybody says anything about Shikamaru, he'll say, sorry, yeah, I said at the beginning he was always like Shikamaru's personal cheerleader, and I didn't really like that. Like any tiny thing, if you say something about Shikamaru, he will be the one to say, oh, Shikamaru this, oh, Shikamaru that. He was just always all about Shikamaru. Like, I don't know. It just felt a bit like, dude, we get it. Like, calm down. Shikamaru can talk to himself, So I just think he was a bit, and he was the fact that, okay, yeah, he's the potato chips eating guy constantly. Then any tiny thing will be like, oh, if you want to get his attention, that last potato chip is what Shikamaru will use. He'll eat a whole bag. Then when it's one left, that's when the guy will now turn up like, that last potato chip, you must not eat it. I will eat it. And then he turns up. I'm like, I know that's his gimmick, but I was like, that doesn't really endear me to him.
I did enjoy him.
No, yeah, you can. So. I enjoyed him eating his chips because it's anime, and anime food is always like, it makes you want to munch on stuff. So yeah, no, sure. But that's what I'm saying. It's not that I hated him. It's not a character I hated, but that's why it's least favorite, right? And so that it's those little things that I was like, yeah, his abilities are interesting and all that. So that's why I said those little things.
Yeah. Okay. I'll allow you. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but it's interesting because that would a lot of people would. It's funny that they come from the same thing, but a lot of people have some things to say about even maybe Inu as a selection or Choji as a selection, because that's interesting. Some people might even pick Hinata because Hinata to a certain point is annoying. To a certain point, she is annoying.
She's not. Her annoyingness is like, oh, girl, get some.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm saying. Say
something. Yeah, but that annoying is not the word I'll use. Me, I'm like shaking her, like, come on, do something. Like, I feel sorry more like. And then
anyways, that's the point. That's seriously, you really need to get a job in this thing. You're too good at it. You're too good at it. You need to get that job. You're really so good at it. But anyways,
man.
so yeah, we've come to the end of this episode.
Yeah. Dattebayo.
Arigato
And
gozaimasu.
as usual, guys, you always say cool. Arigato gozaimasu. Also, arigato gozaimasu. All right, thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Peace out.
Itete kaimasu.
What was that?